They told you to dream, but never told you how to turn dreams into gold. They told you to work hard, but never said what to work hard for. And so, here you are standing in the quiet echo of your own life, wondering why success hasn't knocked, why riches have remained just beyond your grasp, like stars behind glass. But listen closely now. The silence is about to break, because it was never about waiting. It was never about luck. It was never about someone choosing you. The truth, the quiet, terrifying, beautiful truth is that riches begin in the mind, not just money. Riches in love, riches in strength, riches in mastery, in influence, in freedom. The moment you understand that thought as the origin of all wealth, you become dangerous to mediocrity. You become lethal to excuses. You become unstoppable. Everything you want already exists in idea form. Desire is the ignition. And if your desire isn't burning, if it doesn't consume you with an almost holy fire, then you're not ready yet. Not for greatness, because greatness demands a cost. It demands obsession. You must want your goal so fiercely, so single-mindedly, that comfort becomes uncomfortable and safety becomes a cage. That's when the door begins to open. That's when you stop being a passenger in your life and step into the role you were born for, captain. This is not a game of wishes. This is a game of certainty. You must know what you want, not vaguely, not someday, but exactly. You must fix it in your mind like a diamond point. Not more money, but a number. Not a better life, but a picture so vivid you can hear it breathe. That is the secret. Not wishing, but precision. Because clarity builds momentum, and clarity kills doubt. But desire alone is not enough. You must have faith. Faith so loud it drowns out fear. Not the kind of faith that waits, but the kind that moves mountains. Because make no mistake, mountains will appear. Doubt will whisper, friends will question. The world will test you, and the only answer, the only sword you will have is belief. Faith is not fragile. It's forged, and you forge it every day with repetition, with rituals, with words spoken out loud when no one is watching. You speak it into your subconscious until your bones believe it. I will. I must. It is mine. Because the subconscious does not argue, it obeys. It does not filter truth from fiction, it believes what it is fed. So feed it fire, feed it vision, feed it certainty. You must see the goal is already done. Feel it in your body. Touch it in your imagination. Smell the success before it arrives. Faith is not hope, it is embodiment. And from faith comes action. You cannot wait for motivation. You cannot wait for signs. You must move. You must act while others overthink. You must build while others sleep. You must step forward before the path appears. That is how the rich become rich, not by knowing everything, but by moving when others freeze. Action is sacred. Because when your action aligns with your desire and your belief, the universe bends to your will. The right people appear, the right doors crack open, and you realize it wasn't the world that was closed, it was you who hadn't yet decided to knock it down. But let's be clear. Your actions must be directed. Motion without direction is just noise. You must have a plan organized, written, exact. And if you don't know how, learn. This is the age of knowledge. No one has an excuse anymore. And if the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but not the goal. Your desire is sacred. Protect it. Adapt the path, but guard the destination like your soul depends on it. Because it does. And when you find resistance, and you will persist. Persistence is the rarest form of courage. Anyone can start. Most people do. But few stay when it gets dark. Few endure when the applause stops, when the world looks away, when results delay. But if you push through that silent valley, if you move, when the voice inside you says, stop, you emerge a different person. You are no longer hoping for success, you are becoming it. But don't do it alone. Find your circle, find your mastermind. One mind is strong, two in harmony is electric, three in unity can change the world. Surround yourself with those who believe as deeply as you, door deeper. Not yes men, not cheerleaders, warriors, builders, believers. The weak will pull you back. The blind will make you question your vision. But the few, the right few, will fuel your fire and sharpen your sword. And never forget, your greatest power still lies beneath the surface. Your subconscious mind is a field more fertile than any soil on earth. Plant your goals there daily. Water them with emotion. Fertilize them with repetition. Starve it of doubt. Your subconscious doesn't care if what you plant is success or failure. It will grow whatever you give it. So give it greatness. See the version of you that already owns the dream. Feel the power of already having it. Let that version of you speak back to the one who's still learning to believe. This is the real battle. Not out there, in here. Because the moment your inner world shifts, the outer world has no choice but to follow. Because the moment your inner world shifts, the outer world has no choice but to follow. And here's where the world begins to bend. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became aligned with it. You see, the mind is not a container to be filled, it's a workshop. And the workshop's most powerful tool is imagination. Not childish fantasy, not fleeting daydreams, but creative imagination, the very faculty through which man has shaped mountains, crossed oceans, and touched the stars. Everything ever built, worn, spoken, driven, or flown started here first in thought, then in form. Edison imagined the light long before his hands built it. Carnegie imagined empires before steel ever moved. Disney imagined worlds when all he had was a drawing pad and a dream. They all built it first in the invisible realm, then followed through with faith, then persistence, then ruthless execution. So what are you imagining? Do you see limitations or possibilities? Do you envision failure before you act? Or do you stand in the mind's cathedral and chisel out greatness with every thought? Imagination is not a luxury, it is your blueprint. Desire is your fuel. Faith is your fire. But imagination is the architect, and it must be trained, directed, nourished. You must ask questions no one is asking. You must see things no one yet sees. You must fall in love with what if, and then have the courage to make it what is. And once the blueprint is drawn, the hammer must be lifted. This is where planning enters the arena. Napoleon Hill called it organized planning, because dreams without structure are just hallucinations. Don't be romantic about chaos. Don't hide behind slogans like, "I'm a visionary." The true visionary has battle maps, written goals, action plans, steps, strategy, accountability, deadlines. Real vision walks hand in hand with discipline. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a committed one. You'll adjust, you'll fall, but you'll move. And that's what separates the dreamers from the doers of motion. The willingness to look foolish before looking masterful. The guts to launch before you're fully ready. And then comes the trial. This is the part where people quit. This is the part most aren't built for. But you are. Because you know something the masses don't. Obstacles are not signs to turn back, they are signs to rise. They are the tests that confirm your readiness. Because the universe does not hand crowns to those unwilling to bleed for them. This is where persistence is born. It is not a trait. It is not a personality type. It is a decision you remake every single day. In silence, in struggle, in rejection. When no one sees you, persistence sees you. When no one claps, persistence claps. It is the echo of your own commitment reverberating through adversity. And it must be trained like a muscle. Because when your emotions say stop, persistence says go. When your bank account says empty, persistence says build. When the world laughs, persistence sharpens its sword and whispers back, watch me. And if you persist long enough and hard enough and smart enough, the universe will yield. But don't go at it alone. The greatest leaders, those who built dynasties, revolutionized industries, changed generations, they all had something behind them. A council, a force, a team. Hill called it the mastermind group of brotherhood, a sisterhood of aligned minds locked on a single mission. You do not need many. You need right. One aligned mind is worth more than 1,000 hollow voices. Seek those who challenge you, who believe with you, who hold the line when you tremble. Find those whose presence ignites your imagination and whose words pour gasoline on your fire. Do not mistake loud voices for wise ones. Do not mistake proximity for alignment. Be ruthless in your selection. And just as you protect your inner circle, you must guard your inner world. Your subconscious mind, the place where all thoughts take root, where beliefs are born and identities are forged, is always listening. It does not sleep. It does not judge. It records. It absorbs. And it becomes. You are programming yourself every day, whether you realize it or not. So take command. Feed it faith. Feed it victory. Speak to it as if you are already the person you're becoming. Say it before you believe it. Declare it before you see it. Build the mental movie of your success in high definition and replay it endlessly. Because repetition writes identity, and identity shapes destiny. Every time you speak your goal, visualize your future, affirm your power, you are pressing the blueprint deeper into the subconscious. And once it's fully embedded, the outer world will begin bending to match the inner.